What a wonderful night we have here tonight on the United Road broadcast channel. Tonight we will have Miami versus New Orleans Curse Ramen Bowl Grand Finals. With me on the desk bar. How are you tonight?
I'm doing wonderful. It's a great night for some of the best Rocket League that United Rogue has to offer. I can't wait to see how these teams decide to go against each other.
Yeah, both teams coming in having a great season and also having a really good and balanced playoff run. Both teams sitting 12 points in the playoffs, series record 3-0, 9-3 game record, and 4-1 in their semifinals match.
Absolutely. And they may have had just a little bit of a discrepancy going into this playoff bracket, but as they as you said, we're going through it almost identical. But as we get everything moved on over, it looks like the players are ready. We're going to move into game number one.
Yeah, quick kickoff going towards the side of NOC. And Miami already coming out trying to find goals. Three players, all three from knock out of boost, trying to defend this backline as Cage trying to find a pass out. Won't quite find it as Tox recovers it in the midfield, pops it up, looks for the ground pitch, and it is blocked by Comet.
This is an early start here for Miami as they had a good look at it, but some strong defense from the side of New Orleans as that one almost sneaks back in. It's going to be a quick counterattack from Miami. Sean trying to get it centered over to Tox. Tox looking for the shot's going to get saved away by Shiro. Comet pass up to Shiro, but no boost to work with. Is going to have a tough time with this as Sean bumped for their efforts, but gets it hit away. Is going to create some room for this Miami defense. Tox trying to get the push back to the other side here. As a demo in the air is actually going to free up some space. Sean pass over to Tox. Tox looking for the pass over to Sean actually, as that one's going to fall on target, but Comet saves it away. It's pandemonium on the side of New Orleans, but ultimately they're able to get away with it cleanly.
Yeah, New Orleans being able to find the save on that back and forth passing play will recover all the way downfield, and Shearer will find the shot to open up game one. Knock takes it the lead 1-0 with 3:42 in.
Very quick response here from New Orleans. Both teams definitely coming out swinging. Both teams already having a very good offensive look, but New Orleans just a little bit more powerful, a little bit more controlled, is able to take the lead early.
Yeah, New Orleans finding that lead early. Also finding really good aggression coming off of the kickoff now as Sizzy tries to pass it out. But it will get stopped by Cage. Out to Tox. Tox takes the shot to pass to Sean. Sean puts it in. Just what a play. Cage bouncing off the sidewall to Tox. Tox already sitting down in position to find the shot. Just well played. Tied up.
Very quick response there from Miami. Still a lot of time left on the clock and still a lot of series left to play. Both these teams are going to have a long road ahead of them if this is how they're deciding to go about it. As Tox with control has a little bit of boost, gets the muscle past one, but Comet's going to get this one cleared away. Has control, has the boost, gets a hit off the ceiling, pass over to Sizz. Sizz looking to get it past Sean, trying 50 it, but Sean with better control is able to keep it away. The ball is loose in the Miami box, but it gets cleared away by Tox. Sean picking it up off the corner. Shiro looking to get it past one, is able to get there, but again, running out of boost is going to put them in an awkward spot. Cage with an awkward touch is going to put Miami in a bit of danger, but it gets saved away by Sean, and Miami again coming away unscathed from a very dangerous.
Sean getting a good pop. Comet will recover in the midfield, trying to send it back towards the side of Miami. Will clear it. Sean up on the sidewalk, gets the catch, going for the ground pitch. Tox is going to sneak in and pop it over the defense of New Orleans to bring them in the lead for the first time this series.
Great passing play. Sean just trying to fake the presence there, act like he's the one going for the ground pinch, and Tox just going to sneak right in under there and send into the back of the undefended net.
Yeah, just perfect timing from Tox to be there as the kickoff comes in. Sean's gonna get control in the midfield again, but Shiru popping it back towards the Miami side. But Cage gonna be able to catch it as he passes out. Sean not quite gonna find the touch. Tox sizzle 50 it back towards Miami side. Sean coming out of the corner to grab it, looking for any passing opportunity as Shiru sneaks in and takes that ball right back in control for New Orleans.
Ooh, and a bit of a mechanical play there from Comet, almost able to snare it into an empty net. Sean's going to have to run all the way down the wall just to get the save there, as the ball now sitting pretty loose in Miami territory. It's going to be up to New Orleans to get advantage on this. They're trying to get a shot. Cage gets the save. It's going to be a big clear away from Fox. Comet trying to pick it up at the midfield line. Sean 50 with Comet actually at that midfield point, as that one's going to fly pretty loose into the air as Tox pick it up in the corner, gets it past one, gets that corner boost. That's going to give them a great advantage here, trying to play as much control as possible. Tries to get the ground pinch, but Sizz reaching across the field is able to get the block and keep the pressure away briefly.
Tox coming in, trying to find the angle, not quite able to, as Sean will recover the ball in the midfield. Looking for the pass. Cage off the backboard, out to Tox. Not quite going to get the touch. Sizz is going to dive, but not quite find it. Tox with the 50. Cage going to be the one to come in from the midfield, take control, send it around the corner. Miami putting on so much strong offensive pressure here towards the later bit of the game, as Cage not quite able to find the double. Tox popping it back up to Cage. Cage dropping it down. No one there to recover it, as Shiru will get the bang. Off to the sidewall, Tox trying to 50 Comet, not quite able to find it. Cage is barely getting the beat as Sean pops up to take it down into the corner of the New Orleans side.
A lot of pressure here now for New Orleans, as they only have just shy of 23 seconds left to get back into this game. A long play. Sizz going to be the one to plant in the back of the net. New Orleans come back with only 19 left on the clock.
We talked about this before stream too. We were saying this series is going to be either really close or a blowout. And right now we're looking like we're going to get that really close option. And if that is the case, we could be looking at going all the way to game 7 here tonight. It's going to be a good series either way.
One can only hope. It always creates a great story that these players will definitely remember. Sean trying to get some momentum going for a 0-second goal. Has the control, is able to get it centered out into New Orleans territory. Tox again, take a shot. Tox just a little bit high. Sean's got to follow it and can't plant it in the back of the net. A very big scare for New Orleans, and they're able to get away with it.
Yeah, New Orleans got to be a little scared there. That close to not being able to take it to overtime, but it will be dropped. Cage, but gonna end it quickly there. 14 seconds in, the passing play from Tox to Cage in mid. Cage will just find the quick little shot. Sizz, an unfortunate touch to just sent it. That's just a rough situation to be in there.
Absolutely. The unfortunate error. They're trying to pass it out to a teammate to send it back, and it ends up getting punished hard. I feel like even those very small mistakes are going to be what defines this series between going in favor of Miami or going in favor of New Orleans.
Yeah, it really is. These teams, again, we talked about at the beginning, going through playoffs really equal. So this is going to be a who makes that mistake, who controls the boost just that much better. Just all the minor details to the game. That's what's going to change.
Without a doubt. And jumping over to stats really quick for that game, I believe Miami had 11 to New Orleans 6. New Orleans is definitely going to have to pick up their shooting game if they want to get this series back in their favor.
Yeah, without a doubt, an absolute crazy shot differential. But we're seeing the increased number of shots from Miami, but they only won the game by 1.
That's true. And a very adage that I've learned very early in this realm of ours is one is none, 2 is 1, and that lead of 1 goal can go away very, very quickly. You got to make sure you back everything up. But already jumping into game 2, it's going to be an opportunity here for Miami, as Cage almost able to send it across the field into the New Orleans net. A big demo is going to end up planting in the back regardless. A great play for Miami to open it up.
Yeah, just an unfortunate situation. Sizz gets the demo, but it forces him to bounce up into the air in an awkward position where he can't quite get there, leaving one defender in net, and a really nice shot from Sean. As Sean gets the kickoff, trying to find a shot quick again. Cage just in and out of it, man. This offensive pressure coming out from Miami right now it's unrivaled. And if they keep up this pressure, as I say that, We might find a knock goal, not quite, as Tox is able to sneak himself across the line to save that ball.
Bit of pressure here for Miami, get them a little bit warmed up for this game too. New Orleans still looking a little bit out of their element, but as the series goes on, I'm sure we can see them get more into form as we've seen all season long, as they were the #1 seed coming out of the regular season. It's going to be interesting to see if they decide to put that prowess into motion here, or if they're just going to take a back seat. It's all up to them at this point.
Yeah, it really comes down to New Orleans trying to figure out the little minute details they need to improve on to find these shooting opportunities. Cage just setting the flip reset, not quite able to find the flip though, and Sizz will stall down to the Miami side. Cage gonna be the one to cover it on the backboard as Comet jumps, finds a 50 with him out to Sizz. Sizz trying to take control, will get a back pass to Comet, and Shiru might not quite able to find the touch, and it's just sitting in the corner now on this New Orleans side.
Seems like Miami has just been all over the ball for these 2 minutes that have gone on so far. Sizz actually almost having a good look at it, and a great play for New Orleans to open up the scoring for them. That's going to tie the game up 1-1.
Yeah, Sizz bouncing off the ceiling looking for the pass. Shiru just going to come in and sneak the ball away from Sizz onto that left side of the Miami net, tying up the game. And the return goal that they needed to bring themselves into it as Sizz gets the kickoff, pinches it out to mid. Shiru trying to find the shot, putting it off backboard one more time as Cage will send it to the sidewall for Comet. Talked about this Miami offense just a little bit ago and how strong they were being. New Orleans coming around, turning it around real quick though, and showing they've got some offensive pressure zone, trying to find a second shot to give themselves a lead. Passed over to Sizz, but Cage will intercept it, sending it around the sidewall, and just taking control, sending it up into the air and forcing it down to the New Orleans side. Yeah, this combination of Sizz and Shiru are just absolutely dominating right now on this offensive line for New Orleans. Miami's giving them the passes, and just they're having a hard time finding their shot opportunity. Cox getting the pop up in mid. Comet trying to control it off the sidewall. Not quite able to. Midfield, Sean trying to pass it out back. Will not quite find the touch around Shiru as Shiru bangs it down towards the opposite side of Miami. Cox popping it off the sidewall to Cage. Cage takes control here. Looking for a flick opportunity here. Fake down, kept low. Popping it up for his teammate as Cox not quite able to find the shot. This is not quite able to find the touch off the sidewalls. It will be 50 back towards the New Orleans side. Comet intercepting it, taking it up, popping it, but Cage stopping him dead to rights in the midfield. Sean grabbing it from the corner here, trying to play against Sizz. We'll get a 50, and Comet over the heads of the defense right into the back of the net. And New Orleans down by 1 in the series. Down by 1 at the start of the game, has turned it around, scored 3 unanswered goals, and just absolutely on fire with this pressure against Miami, who just need to get a little bit more going if they want to bring this game back.
Absolutely, and just under a minute left. They've got to get something going quick if they want to get back into it, as New Orleans storming down the field, almost able to get another one in the net. Comet's going to keep the pressure going from New Orleans, able to get the reset, able to get it over 1, trying to get the double tap, but just couldn't get it past Cage. Cage now with no boost, isn't able to do a whole lot with that ball. Sizz up for the shot, is going to go a little bit short. Cox going to take this one out of the corner, has a touch off the wall, gets beat by Comet. Sean keeping the fall away, but it immediately gets pushed back into danger. That one's going to waterfall, a very dangerous situation for Miami, but they get away with it unscathed.
Yeah, Miami not looking quite as on point as we saw at the end of last game. And New Orleans, though, complete turnaround and step up from the little bit of defensive issue to now just absolutely running that one and having a lot stronger finish than they did in game one.
Absolutely. And as I pointed out with the last game, that Miami had a very big deficit in the shooting realm. Now it's New Orleans having a very, very big shooting deficit as they had 9 to Miami's 4. Shooting doesn't tell the whole story, obviously, but it definitely tells a big part of it as now New Orleans seems to have warmed up, gotten ready, said, all right, now we're here. Now we're ready to play. We're going to take this one as fast as we possibly can. And they have most certainly shown that they're ready for it with that second game.
Oh, yeah. Looked like they had a little bit of warming up to do going out of game one, like I said, but going into game two, definitely looking a lot better and showing why they were that number one seed during the regular season and why they played so well through their playoff.
Definitely. And as we jump over to game 3, it's both these teams tied. To see which team is able to take the lead in series. Miami taking the lead back, or is it going to be New Orleans pushing harder and harder into the series to make it harder and harder for Miami to come back?
We got 5 minutes to just figure that one out as Sean will get the 50, but Comet going to recover it, going for a pinch stop. Cage will get the touch, but it's just going to go right out to Sizz in the corner. The 50 not quite going to go in the favor of NOC as Cox tries to get one more pass back off the backboard. Will not quite find it as Sizz will send it back towards Miami's side for Cage as Sean recovers off the pass from Cage over to Cage off the pass. Will they quite find the shot? Cage got the pop up off backboard out to Tox. Tox sending it back up off backboard to Sean. Sean won't quite find the angle.
Fortunately, it seemed a little bit of miscommunication there coming from Miami as they couldn't really decide who they should send to the ball. There is now New Orleans getting a very dangerous opportunity here as Shiro almost able to read that one off the backboard actually, but gets cleared away by Miami regardless. Bit of a double commit there in the New Orleans corner. Tox trying to pass out to Cage. It's going to get cleared away. Sean, last man back, is able to get a big clear and put all of that pressure right back on New Orleans. Comet gets the pickup. Sizz demoed in the corner. Cage has it out-centered, but Tox playing it safe is electing to go back. Sizz trying to center it out to Comet. Comet playing it safe as well. Comet pass out to mid. Sizz with the shot, and Tox is able to reach across and get it. Miami definitely bolstering their defense here in game number 3.
Yeah, Miami showing that they are strong on the defensive side. They've got to be able to get the ball out of their end over to the New Orleans side and get a goal, or they can't win the game. You can't win by defense alone. And right now, with the way New Orleans is playing, it's going to be hard for them to do that.
Without a doubt. A bit of a double commit there from Miami. That's going to put them on a very bad return here, going back to their net as New Orleans coming in with a lot of pressure. Comet looking for the shot, saved away by Sean. Shiro looking for the angle. Cage with no boost is able to get it saved away, but still in a very precarious situation for Miami. Sean off the backboard is able to get there fast enough. Now trying to mount a counterattack is Miami. Tox pushing all the way back down to that New Orleans back wall. Tox pass out to mid. Cage almost able to find the shot, but I believe that was Comet just able to get in the way and make the stop. Now it's a push down to Miami territory as Shiro passing out to Sizz. Sizz with the shot, pass over to Shiro, and it goes wide. A great planned play unfortunately goes awry for a bad angle.
Yeah, it's one of those situations you hate to see it happen, especially when you're like this late in the season, in the grand finals of playoffs. And that could be the difference between you taking this game or you losing this game. And that's one of those moments. It sucks. And it does look like that will be the play that keeps them That is very unfortunate as Sean finds a good pass off the ceiling to Tox, right between Shiru and Stiz.
Great passing play overall, and it's definitely needed. It's been a drought this game. Both teams have definitely fully woken up here as Miami going for quite the interesting kickoff. I think we've all seen that one before. Sizz is going to send it actually all the way to the back of the Miami net and tie it right back up. 1:42 left on the clock.
Yeah, just that is what they needed right there to keep themselves in this game. And it couldn't have come at a better time because you just made a slight mistake, missed a free net, and then you get scored on. Now you immediately turn around and score. That's got to build that confidence back up pretty quickly.
Without a doubt. And when you're in this situation, it is all pressure all day. You have no lives left, but only one game to win. And even the smallest mistakes can result in a loss. It's got to be the most amount of pressure you can imagine as New Orleans already trying to get this lead back. Just over a minute left on the clock here. Sean, with a little bit of control, is able to get it past one. Tox is going to get a big clear down the field. Sean trying to play the aggressor there, trying to pick up a demo or a bump somewhere on that New Orleans line. It's going to waterfall down in front of the New Orleans net, but no shooters there is going to get cleared away. Tox trying to find the shot. A little bit too much power there from Sean. Cade's going to pick this one up in New Orleans territory. Comet picking it up, gets past one, trying to get past two. Tox is there fast enough to get it past. And now it's last man back. Is trying to keep the score tied. Sizz able to get one save. Tox going to try and follow it up. Sean, last man back's now got to make something happen here as we have just over 30 seconds left. Both teams have had great offensive plays and both teams have had great defensive showings for it.
Both teams absolutely on fire in this third game. Sean gets the pass out to Cage. Cage looking for the backboard. Will find the backboard as Tox follows it up, but not quite able to find the angle on net. Cage gets the demo on Stiz to try to buy a little bit more time. Comet, though, gonna be the one to send it down mid. Not quite able to find the pass out as Tox is able to reach across the net to clear it down, get the flip reset. Not quite able to get it the way he wants it, and it will go into OT.
Who would have expected? This game has been so close between these two teams that I don't think we would have been okay without an overtime. As Shiro trying to end it early, Sizz trying to get the follow-up. A lot of saves coming from Miami as they are now sitting on 8 to New Orleans 1 save. It's definitely showing where often defense has been, but both, again, showing amazing prowess on both sides.
Yeah, Miami looking to try to get a clear up because Shiro will get the pass off the backboard. Tox coming out of the midfield to take that touch down to Cage, who is in a 1v1. Not quite able to find it as Shiro will get the recovery. Sean coming up from behind has absolutely send that ball off the sidewall, but Comet there to keep it on the side of Miami, who need to get this ball cleared quick with the amount of shots that New Orleans are putting on and the quality of them.
Both teams seem a bit stalemated here. The ball spending a lot of time at that midfield line and rarely going to the back wall for more than 10 seconds. This is actually 50 it past one. It becomes a dangerous ball. Cheer with an unfortunate touch is going to put Comet in an unfortunate situation here. Tox trying to capitalize on the loose ball in New Orleans territory. A big pinch is going to send it all the way over to Tox on the other side. Tox trying to get a read off of Sizz, almost able to find it. Sean trying to get the double here, just a little bit too low. That's going to get sent all the way back to the Miami backline as Cage is going to have to play last man back here. Tox able to actually get the speed and beat Comet to the ball. It's, again, a loose ball in midfield territory. It's a really close matchup between these teams. It's going to come down to the most minute error to end this game 3.
Yeah, it's really at that point where both teams, even the smallest mistake will be the one that costs them it. Sean will get the recovery there just in time, but Comet 50 and him just right to Sizz. Sizz gets a stall as Tox 0 boost on the backboard. Will get the catch around one. Cage sending it back down towards the midfield, and both teams just playing with so much so late into this game, playing almost half a game at this point of OT, it's got to be wearing on them.
Without a doubt, that stamina factor is definitely going to start making a play here, especially if this overtime continues to go for multiple minutes, as New Orleans already trying to get a pressure play going off the counterattack. Tox able to pick it up at the midfield line. Cage able to pick it up off the pass to Tox. Sean, no boost to work with, is doing what they can. Cage gets a demo in Ned. It's going to actually create an opportunity for Miami, but Tox trying to play it safe here, elects to not go for it. Comet with the pass out, no one's there to shoot it in time. Cage able to pick this up out of the corner. Has control, has the boost, gets it past one, tries to 50 it past Sizz, but unfortunately just can't find the power. That one's going to fall very safely into New Orleans territory. Carried out. Sean with the shot on target. Shiro's got a race for it and can't make it. Miami's going to pick up game 3, setting them up 2-1 in the series.
Yeah, that's just a so unfortunate situation. Shiro got a little too far into the midfield, and Sean just gets a little pop shot straight down to the New Orleans net. And you got to think, you were talking about that a game of agility and endurance. It's really going to come down to it because this is only game 3 of a best of 7. If they keep having overtimes like this, it's really going to wear and drag them down.
Absolutely, and it becomes not a race of who's better mechanically, who has the better team chemistry, who has the better game sense. It's going to come down to how long can you hold that skill, and that's what really sets apart good players from great players, is being able to endure, being able to just keep pushing regardless of the circumstances and what the outcome may even be.
And as we go into game 4 here, we're really about to find out where things are going to go, as we do take just a second. I'm not sure exactly. We had a player have a little bit of technical issue, so we will be back here in just a second as we get that fixed.
There. A little bit of a break, just a little bit of a break.
Yep,
Give the players a little bit of a moment after that last game.
And as we get the next game going, Sean will get the massive redirect off his backboard down to the side of New Orleans. Comet trying to take control. Will get the ceiling touch to Shiru. Shiru looking for a 50. Will find it as the ball floats right over to Sizz, who will not quite be able to find the angle he wants. Will keep it on the side of Miami as Shiru recovers the touch from Sean. But Comet gonna have a little bit of a miss there that will unfortunately put the ball on their side. Tox popping it out to Sean. Sean up in the midfield. Cage is not quite able to find the redirect as Comet recovers.
Big speed coming out of these teams for game 4, as both teams having okay looks at it, but not a lot to work with. Sean actually going to pick up the goal from the pass from Tox. Just phenomenal pass play there to get the game started.
Yeah, just an absolute buttery perfect pass. No opposition there to challenge it. And the shot just straight in, setting a lead for Miami off a game-ending OT, or an OT-ending goal, with just that energy already flowing. So it's definitely a good situation for Miami right now to help build that flow and confidence, keep building momentum in this team.
Absolutely, and mind you, if Miami wins this, they're on series point. And that puts a lot of pressure back onto New Orleans to perform, as Tox actually almost able to find it off the corner there. Sean's going to have to pick this one up at the midfield. A big pinch is going to send that all the way back safely into the hands of New Orleans. Comet trying to get the clear demo for their efforts, as that one's going to now get a lot of pressure down onto the Miami defense. Tox goes up off the ground, gets off the wall. Able to get almost a third one there. Try and keep some pressure going for Miami, but this one's going to push back downfield. All 3 New Orleans players storming into that Miami shooting lane as a demo. Again, that seems to be ramping up as well, as with speed and agility is those demo plays are becoming more and more frequent between these teams.
Yeah, and I love to see that aggression start to take a play because that, even just one perfectly placed demo, can turn the entire tide of a game. And we haven't really seen those demos, but so far it hasn't been under that pressure for New Orleans. And now they're starting to feel that pressure as Talk will find another long shot all the way down to bring them up to 2-0.
Just some fortunate circumstance for New Orleans. Comet and Sizz pushed too far up. Both thought the other was the third man, and they get hard punished for it. Still over half the game to go, though. They definitely have the opportunity to come back. They've just got to execute.
Yeah, without a good execution, it's going to be hard as well because we saw that same kind of mistake that led to them losing game 3 was just a little bit of an overcommit on their third person. And if that's what's causing them to start losing goals more and more consistently, that could be bad. But that could also just be the pressure as Shiru finds a shot.
We have a sneak play here. Tox trying to get it cleared away, gets demoed, and Cage just not ready for it. Shiro all over the ball there. Sean trying to reach across, but just couldn't find the save. That's going to cut their lead down to half.
Yeah, just a quick turnaround there. Sizz looking to find another offensive pressure play there. Not quite able to, as Cage will find the pinch in the midfield, gets the pop off the sidewall as Sizz will find the recovery and take it into control for NOC, but Sean intercepting in the midfield. Not quite able to find the 50 the shooter that he wants, but gets it to Cage. Cage talks, not quite able to find the shot. As the angle is just a hair wide, and Sizz will be the one to pick it up, banging it downfield. Hero popping it back in that midfield up to Comet, will be intercepted by Todd.
Lots of pressure. Really. Whoa, hold on, hold the phone. We need to talk about that play for a second. Sean picks this one up at the midfield line, goes off the corner, and gets the redirect over Shiru to give Miami a 2-goal lead. That has got to be a great momentum starter for Miami.
Yeah, NOC, you guys are hurting right now. They hit that, taking bringing their lead back up to 2. If they win this, it's match point for them. That is just demoralizing to have let that go by.
Another factor that plays into the separation of good players and great players is, are you able to come back from just absolute devastation, whether it's a great play or losing a lead or losing a series, a game, anything. You've got to be able to stay in the game. But Sean trying to play the toxic route, trying to tilt as much as possible, as Miami now starting to feel the pressure from New Orleans as the ball gets sent all the way back down to the New Orleans half. Gets picked up by Comet, actually gets past Tox. It's going to be in no man's land with only 30 seconds left. It's going to be up to New Orleans here. They've got to get something if they want to even have momentum for game 5.
Yeah, New Orleans got to start picking up the pace a bit here. Unfortunately, they may just be a little too late on this game as Cage will find another shot off the pass from Tox. And that's the nail in the coffin without a doubt. It is possible to score 3 in 13 seconds, but I just don't see NOC doing it with the way Miami is playing.
I have definitely seen larger leads in short time, but with all this pressure mounting on New Orleans and with this Miami team just tearing through every single part of New Orleans that they can throw at him, almost actually able to pick up a momentum started there, but unfortunately just bangs off the crossbar straight into the ground, and that's going to put Miami at 3-1 and at match point.
Yeah, now if you're NOC, you're worried. Got to take some time and talk. And I hope that that is what they do here because they've got to change something. And it's not a very big change. It's just the smallest change they have to make to be able to bring it back against this Miami team. We know they can take a game. They've just got to find that momentum and change.
Even just being able to get more physical, try and go for more bumps, even just trying to steal more boost pads. That can be what changes the tide. As we've seen, these teams, when they're all fired up, are really, really close. But it's just that demoralizing energy that can happen to either team. Hold the phone. Sizz just snuck that one in off the crossbar in under 6 seconds. It looks like New Orleans is just right back into playing performance here.
Yeah, I'm sorry, what, Sizz? How? That is insane to get that quick of a goal off of a play like that.
Actually, Miami almost was able to sneak one in of their own. They're having a goal apiece in under 20 seconds would have been a record for this series, as both these teams have taken quite some time to score at least a goal so far in each game, as a big clear down the field is going to put Cage under some pressure and send that one right back with a thank you very much. Comet picking it up at the midfield. Talks all over that ball. Is going to get that one sent back. It's almost as if these teams are playing ping pong at this point. Not a whole lot of close plays. Sean actually is going to have an opportunity here going for the double, but it gets saved away by Comet. Great presence there on the backboard to keep the defense alive.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to be worried, and watching that we saw Sean hit the double last game. They are going to be keeping a close eye on him doing that, as Comet gets the ball all the way downfield, but not quite able to find the pass out towards mid, as Talks will recover it and take it downfield into the corner of NOC, as Sizz gets a massive bang, but Cage just sitting perfectly placed to stop it. Comet not quite able to find his touch as he gets the pass over to Talks. Talks across. Comet will recover into the corner, but Talks will get a nice little touch as we have a shot ringing out from Cage, but Sizz, perfect time to stop it.
This is definitely seeming a lot more alive in this game. Having an early goal and a lot of very clutch saves has definitely put them in the spotlight for New Orleans, as now pressure mounting very much in their favor, as it seems Miami is having a little bit of trouble. Right as I say that, I don't even get to get the sentence out. A three-way pass play from Miami is going to tie the game right back up.
Yeah, Miami just doing what they do best with these passing plays. Sean just perfectly finishing that shot off, allowing the team to tie it up. And it's constant pressure from both teams, nonstop. You'd think, one team would end up beating out the other just a hair. It's not even, it's almost a dead split every game.
It has been, barring that previous game for New Orleans, that didn't happen, but almost actually able to sneak it in was Comet, get the extra touch off the ground, almost snuck it in under the entire Miami defense there, but ultimately gets cleared away. Cage 50 with Comet in that corner, Talks with a big clear away. Sean's got to race up to this one, pass over to Cage. Cage looking for the shot, gets faked out by Comet. That one's going to float safely into the New Orleans corner here. Sure, able to pick this one up off the backboard, trying to get it past one, trips over Comet. Comet's going to be the one to pick this one up, but gets blocked away by Cage. Sizz picking it up as last man, tries to find the shot. Sean with the big clear. It's going to get all that pressure back in favor of Miami. It's going to be a loose ball in front of the New Orleans net. It's going to be a shot from Talks, but a great reach from Sizz is able to keep it away.
These shots that Miami are finding are just absolutely bonkers angles off the corner. Talks putting it out to Cage. Cage back to Talks, but Comet will jump in just the right timing to block it out from Talks. Sizz sending it back towards the net. Shiru not quite able to beat Talks as Sizz sends it back up to the top. Cage gets it down to the New Orleans side, sending it off the corner out to Sean. Sean looking for the play around one, gets around one. Not quite able to find his teammate as Talks will have to 50 Sizz, 50's Comet, and Shiru gets the pops clear.
New Orleans definitely having a lot of responses for these very complex attacks coming from Miami, but it can only do so much, as if you're spending all your time on your back half, you have no opportunities to score, and they've definitely got to start looking for those if they want to take this game and stay alive in the series. Sizz up off the wall, has the ball loose in Miami territory. Cage is going to be the one to challenge first. Comet looking for a shot. It's going to be on target. Talks able to pick up the save. Sean, extra touch off the wall, has the pressure, picks up that midfield boost, is going to get them a lot more power than they were initially hoping. Shiru with control, runs out of boost. It's going to be over to Tox. Tox unfortunately couldn't find the touch. Shiro still playing with no boost, is trying everything they can to get this as far as possible. As pass from Tox over to Sean. Back to Sean. Has control. Cage trying to pick this one up to midfield. Keep that pressure going for Miami as we enter into the final 30 seconds here. It's all pressure on New Orleans. They've got to score if they want to stay alive, but Miami doing everything they can to close this series out in 5.
Yeah, Miami wants this over. They want the chip right here, right now, but New Orleans trying to prove that they've still got a chance at it themselves, and I'm seeing it with the way they've started to play towards the middle to end of this game. They've definitely started doing a little bit better on the defensive end, but they did give up a goal to Miami and have to try to avoid taking it to overtime as they have not had a good history with those against Miami.
Well, it's all up to them at this point. New Orleans actually has an opportunity here. Unfortunately, Sizz with no boost isn't able to get very much speed on the ball. Shiro able to get it flicked onto the backboard. Cage, a bit of a double commit there from Tox, as that's going to put Miami in a bit of an awkward situation. Cage with a shot. Comet able to get the save and pinch it away. A very close call for New Orleans, but they're able to stay alive. Sean with the reset gets it past one. Pass over to Tox. Comet's going to be able to pick this one up with an easy save. Cage with control. Trying to pinch past the wall. Comet with a phenomenal block. Comet looking for the double. Almost able to find it and rival the shot from Sean earlier, but just couldn't find the speed to get to the ball here. As now both teams just under a minute of pass remain at 1-1.
Yeah, Miami just on the defensive line right now is New Orleans showing they still want it, and Comet will get the goal to keep them in this series.
Very much high pressure situation for New Orleans, and they're able to perform where it matters. Sizz with a great pass out and almost no defense from Miami is going to keep this series going.
Only problem is they were able to get that one, but they've got to keep doing it. They can't lose at all. They have to stay winning every game if they want to take this.
That's their kryptonite here. They've really got to start performing here. They have no lives left, as you were saying. If they make even a small error at the wrong time, that's it for them. Granted, this is the last series of the playoffs, and this will decide your champion, but you'd rather go out a winner than a loser, if you know what I'm saying.
No, exactly. It's always, you never want to be that man in the second spot. You always want to be first, especially with this being the end of their season. They want that win. Both teams want it, but who wants it more?
Miami certainly showing that they have been wanting it all series long, but it looks like fatigue is starting to catch up to them. Meanwhile, New Orleans has definitely started to come back into form. It's going to be up to them, though. They've got to win this next game to send it to 7.
Yeah, I don't know if I really believe that they can continue to bring this next game, because they did take an early lead, or an early game too, but unfortunately they really haven't shown that much until now, and even then it was a bit lackluster and underperforming. They were able to get it, but it was just off the small mistakes Miami was making.
That can be the decider. As we've been saying all series long, it can be just that little itty-bitty mistake that causes you to lose a game. And yeah, it's one game, but then it turns into 2, and then 3, and then you're on series point because of little mistakes. You've got to be ready for those. And Shiro, actually, Sizz is gonna get credit for that goal. New Orleans definitely starting off on the right foot here, getting the lead with just over 45 seconds gone.
Yeah, a quick early play. As I'm saying, I don't know if I believe they could do it. They immediately score to prove that they can. And it's definitely been a great series so far. Miami just playing that little bit better throughout the early games. Chiru looking to find the shot, as it will be a double, but it will be saved on the goal line from Miami. Comet looking for the pass back out. Cage to pop it downfield. Double commit from Sizz and Chiru. And Comet up as well. That's a risky play there with only being up by 1.
Sometimes that's what's happened. Oh no, Sis, you can't do him like that. The bump in the air to send the last man back to get an extra gold. That was filthy.
Sis, man, that was just absolutely the dirtiest play he could have made there. Bring that lead up by 2 and convince me more and more that they are capable of these back-to-back wins. As Sis puts it off into the midfield off the corner. No one there to recover it. Chiru finds the shot, and it will sneak in somehow.
Bit of an awkward play here from both teams, and unfortunately just not a whole lot of communication coming from Miami. It seems that they've gotten maybe a little too comfortable in that match point seat, and New Orleans is definitely trying to take advantage of it, now sitting up 3-0 after a bit of a rough start in this series, have definitely come into their own.
Miami's been able to win games against New Orleans, but it's always been them coming back from low wins or low goal differential if they come back at all, or if they don't start in the lead. So it's really going to be a test to see if they can manage to bring back 3 unanswered goals here, as Sis will pinch it off to the corner to Comet. Comet out Shiru looking for the shot. Tox going to be able to just barely reach it and take it up off the sidewall. Over one, over the other. Demo comes out, but Comet will intercept the ball out to Sis. Sis trying to take it back down towards Miami side.
New Orleans definitely have a lot more aggression in this game, and even starting in that last overtime, as Miami now it seems to be on their back foot a lot, and almost a successful pinch play there coming from New Orleans, able to send it into the back and make it 4, but just couldn't quite find the timing they were looking for. It's gonna be Cage now over to Sean. Sean trying to get it past 1, able to get it past 1 just off the crossbar. Everybody heard that in every server across the game, as now it's going to be pressure mounting for New Orleans. This is pass for Comet. Comet's able to get there before Sean's able to make a play on the ball. Comet just trying to play presence on the ball, get able to play it slow. Cage trying to send over to Sean. Sean trying to get the follow-up pass over to Tox. Unfortunately, not enough power to get it sent, as now Sis picking this up off the backboard. 50 with Cage is going to send it over to Sean, who's waiting at the midfield. Sean with control, has all the boost to work with, but gets pushed hard to make sure that he has no room to work with. Cage takes it past 1. Comet's able to pick it up at that midfield line, just over a minute 30 left. It's going to be all up to Miami here. Do we end it here, or do we go to game 7?
Miami wants to bring it back. They want this game because they want the series, but they've got to really pick it up quite rapidly here, as they haven't really been putting on overall that much pressure. They do have 6 shots, which really doesn't feel like they have that many, but Sean having 5 of the 6, whereas you've got a little bit more of a balanced shot spread out between the players on NOC. You've got 2 from Sis and 4 from Chiru, and Comet trying to find one of his own, as he will, but not quite able to find the goal, as Sis will intercept it in mid, but Sean to recover. Just right now, Miami not looking like they're going to quite be able to secure this game.
Definitely looking a little bit more rough, but that's a start that they absolutely need. Cage with phenomenal control is able to sneak it past the entire defense, and Sean just with a wide open net is able to send it to the back and cut that lead down even just a little.
Yeah, I mean, even that one goal can rebuild that momentum going into next match if you can't bring this back. But either way, they got to roll with that energy, as Sean will send it back towards the midfield. Sis gets the pop, not quite able to find the double. Chiru will keep it on the side of Miami as Comet sends it to the corner. Sean trying to clear it out. Will find a little pass, but Chiru going to be the one to receive it instead of Cage, as Cage covers it from the backboard, gets the reset. Down Tox. Tox will find a goal to at least cause the lead to only be given up by 1.
Not going to be enough to get them this game. We are going to be going to a game 7, but that is definitely going to be a momentum starter. They were down 3-0 in that game and were able to at least come back in the final seconds, make it 3-2. Again,
Yeah,
it may not be enough, but it's something, and they have something to work.
NOC definitely proving me wrong. I did not believe they could get the back-to-back wins because they haven't shown the ability to consistently play that way so far in the series. But for them to do the back-to-back, bring it to a game 7, this is going to be the most intense game 7 we have had on this channel.
Definitely a possibility. It's going to be up to these teams to perform, though. New Orleans has definitely maybe taken a little bit longer than they would have liked, but have absolutely woken up in this series. It's going to be up to Miami to respond to this powerhouse of a defense, and even maybe just trying to target Sizz, because Sizz has absolutely shown up in these last couple games.
Yeah, we saw it come out from NOC. We haven't seen a whole lot of it from Miami, that demo game. Sean finding a demo in mid, but if they really start stepping up the demos, bumps, find the more shot up to his cage, already finding the first shot for Miami. Not quite able to find the goal, but already starting off with those shots and that offensive pressure.
Miami now under a fair amount of pressure here. Comet trying to center it out, but no attackers there to speak of. Sizz trying to keep the pressure away for a moment while his teammates recoup. That one's going to be a very dangerous ball, and it's going to be wide open for Sean. Sean opens up the scoring in game 7 for Miami.
That's a hard read. That's very unfortunate for Comet in that situation. He can't be too hard on himself. That ball was moving quick. It was a pinch off the sidewall, off the backboard. Trying to read that is going to be tough.
Without a doubt. Will it be a momentum killer for New Orleans, or will they take that as a challenge? Okay, you want to play it like that? We'll start pushing a little bit harder on you. Try and make it a little bit more difficult for you and see how you like it. But ultimately, it's going to be up to them to execute. As Sean picking it up in the corner, no boost in the tank. Sizz is going to have a free run with that one. Cage with the 50 is going to go over to Comet. Comet has control, has the boost, gets it past one. It's going to waterfall past 2. Comet actually able to get an extra touch there, just trying to keep the possession away from Miami. As a pass from Cage over to Sean is going to go a little bit high and bounce off the box. Sean just getting an extra touch, again, trying to keep the pressure away for even a fleeting moment. Shearer looking for a double off the waterfall, can't quite find it. Sizz trying to find a follow-up, can't find the shot, but it's going to be up to Comet, and Comet, with the overextended defense of Miami, is able to tie the game up.
Yeah, Tox unfortunately just having to float in net, block any shot that could come out from NOC, but the one that does is not quite reachable. Now you've got a tied game, and now you coming for the bump. He is not happy about giving up that last goal.
No doubt about it. And actually, Comet almost able to pick up a goal there and put New Orleans back in the lead. Cage pushing hard down to the other side of the field, trying to get some pressure going in favor of Miami here. Tox trying to get a follow. Sean looking for a shot. It's going to go a little bit high. Tox trying to play the aggressor. As Sizz going to pick this one up, pass over to Comet. Comet with the shot. Comet wide open. Miami net is going to get the lead for New Orleans.
Yeah, just an unfortunate situation. They have no one back. Tox, no boost. Sean stuck on that close wall. Neither of them able to get back. NOC taking the lead at a very crucial time in the series as well.
Every little play can have a big impact on the opponent's mental, as now these players, this is the last game for Ramen Bowl. It doesn't matter who comes out on top, but you are certainly wanting it to be you, as a double commit there coming from New Orleans. Comet trying to play an extra little bit there, ends up overextending. It's going to be a dangerous situation, but phenomenal awareness is going to get an easy block on Cage. Comet trying to play against Tox. Tox with control, has the boost, has the space, goes for it, able to get that double tap. A great mechanical play.
Yeah, gets the double and the dunk all in one. That is absolutely brutal and a momentum killer just so difficult when you're getting doubled on to tie the game up that hard. It's rough, but Knox already shown that they can take that, turn it around, score their own goals, and just already looking for more opportunities as we see.
No doubt. They've really got to start getting these things going, though. Just over 2 minutes left. It's all pressure on all players here. They've got to start performing now if they want to take this game away from the other. Cage, pass over to Tox. Tox with controls, able to get into the corner, but it gets blocked away by Sizz. Sean trying to pick this one up. Gets it sent all the way back to that New Orleans side. Bit of a double commit there from New Orleans. Going to make them have to scramble back on defense just to keep that line in check. Sizz with an early challenge is actually going to be an opportunity here from New Orleans, but Shiru electing to play it a little bit far back, decides to not go for that shot as that one was a little bit too far out of reach. Comet pass out to mid. Sean picking it up at the midfield over to Cage. Sean's going to have to pick this one back up and try again later, as Miami definitely seeming to be under more and more pressure, but they keep having these glimmers of opportunities on offense. They just have to execute on them.
Yeah, Miami just not quite able to. They're setting up the shots, but they're not finding the opportunities to score off of them. And that is not good to be in that situation this late. Even just tied up, you cannot spend that much time on defense against this New Orleans team, or they will just eat you alive.
No doubt about it. Final minute here. It's going to be an opportunity for New Orleans, and it gets blocked away by Cage. But Sizz, who else but Sizz, is going to be the one to plant in the back of the net. 47 seconds left for Miami to answer.
I really did not think we would be at this point in New Orleans has absolutely changed my mind, as I just did not see that potential in them early in the series, but they're playing so amazing now that it's unbeatable.
It seems that with every ticking second, it gets harder and harder for Miami to respond and get this game tied back up. They have an opportunity here, but that one's going to get cleared away. Comet with control gets it past one, gets it past two. A goal here for New Orleans would be the dagger that sends this grand finals in their favor. Tuck looking for the double, has the angle, has the shot, but just a little too steep, is going to send it away. Last opportunity here for Miami. Bounce off the back row off the shot from Tox. A double commit from New Orleans. It's going to be all up to Tox here. Has to get something going. Gets it past one. Almost. Sean trying to keep it up. Trying to keep this series alive. Shiru able to get the extra touch. It's going to bounce off the backboard. Tox with the extra touch off the backboard over to Cage. Sean picking this one up at the midfield line. Comet's able to pick it up off the backboard from the touch from Sean. Comet reset over one. Pinches it off the wall. It's still up. It's still in a lot of pressure. Shiru just trying to let this one die. Sizz trying to send it to the ground. The ball is still up. It falls. New Orleans, number one in main season, number one in the bracket, number one in Ramen Bowl.
What a comeback for New Orleans. I really did. I thought we hit match point for Miami. I thought, okay, it's done. NOC, they played good, but not quite good enough. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they bring it all back to win.
It's hard to put in words. They seemed so out of it. They had no lives left, and just being able to come back and take the win here in the grand finals. A big congratulations to the New Orleans Curse for winning that Ramen Bowl championship. A very well played to Miami. You guys did everything you could, and you guys played phenomenally regardless of the outcome. We are very proud of both teams and all teams that have played this season. Thank you very much, everybody, for stopping by. We're going to go ahead and close up shop here for a little bit.